Oh look, I'm in another boat. This week I'm giving away copies of Why Am I Dead at Sea, so I guess this is probably par for the course. Anyway, welcome to this week's contest results show, a video where I read and react to the best contest entries. On Saturday, I asked you to come up with your own murder mystery in hopes of winning a copy of Why Am I Dead at Sea, the brand new 16-bit adventure game available now on Steam. I was hoping for elaborate stories full of twists and turns. I'm not sure the developers over at Peltast will get any ideas from these contest entries, but the results are definitely interesting. Here are some of your ideas. Up first, we have the Devil Burning, who says, "It's some brat's birthday, and they go outside to break open the piñata, but in its place, there hanging from a tree, is my dripping, dismembered corpse. My entrails now hang like a banner spelling the words happy birthday." Ugh. Well, it's so hard shopping for kids these days. Up next, we have Retro Kaiser, who says he would die on the toilet. It'll be a crappy mystery for sure, but a good one at that. Look, I wasn't trying to start a movement, so I'm a little concerned everybody would dump their poop-related puns in this contest. Let's hope we all got that out of our system. Next up, we have Christopher Hill, who says, "I would like to die in a video game, so I can respawn, then die again, and again, and again. Basically, I'd perfect the art of dying. At least that's what I tell myself when I play. Yeah, but with your luck, you'd probably be stuck in a roguelike." Next up, we have Retro Chris Alea, who says, "Well, if I were to be part of an elaborate murder mystery, I would love my death to occur somewhere to confuse detectives. It would be awesome to die in a freezer, so it would be hard to find clues, or in an oven so your skin would be too deformed and burnt to find incriminating clues. Have fun, detective." I'm starting to regret asking this question. Moving on, we have Keckler, who says, "I would want to be found sprawled on the floor next to a Scrabble board, with my hand outstretched to the board, as if I attempted to leave a message about the killer before I died. And on the board would be spelled xenophobe, leading the police on a huge search for racists, until they realized that I was just a sad Scrabble fan who wanted a big score before dying." Okay, but what does any of this have to do with space aliens? Anyway, the next three entries are going to be the winners of the contest. I'm going to read them in no particular order, starting with the Sony Bastard. Well, depending on how elaborate the murder scheme, we should also focus on how stylish my death would be. Remember, this is a video game, and like any video game, it must be stupid enough that even comic books would shrug. To that end, I would take cues from Ace Attorney, one of the best examples of going out with style. Imagine it's 2 a.m. and you, for some personal reason we need not know, while taking a stroll, you hear a gunshot in the local mall. You assume it's coming from inside the mall as you rush in. But then, unexpectedly of course, I drop down behind you like a rag doll. A pale-faced rag doll with ripped and bloody clothing. What's worse is that while I do still have my possessions, like my wallet and my phone, they're all stripped out of contents, except for one message in my phone that reads, "It was due time." Of course, I don't want to give away what was due or what happened at the mall. Let's just say it isn't about milkshakes. At least I can confidently say that it isn't the Russian mafia behind this, nor my bitter ex-girlfriend, and nor that guy who I owe valuable Magic the Gathering cards. Or maybe not. Okay, you said it's not the Russian mafia. Let's not implicate the Russian mafia here. I want to keep this channel alive as long as possible. Girasso says, "If I was the victim of a murder mystery, then the murder would take place in a Harry Potter-like world. I've always liked murder mysteries that include magic and things like that. It makes the murder that much more interesting. Cool new ways to kill somebody, avoid capture, cover up your tracks, and catch the bad guy. But at any rate, here's the answer. I'd be murdered by one of my classmates at the forbidden section of the Library of Hogwarts by a voodoo doll. Basically, what would happen is my grudge-bearing schoolmate, who is jealous of me for whatever reason, wants to kill me. And they want to kill me without getting caught, of course. So they go to the library and read up on a piece of forbidden magic called the Evil Eye. They obtain a picture of me and painstakingly create a small cloth doll in my likeness, like a kind of rag doll. And maybe they leave a trail behind, I don't know. Anyway, one day they finish the incantation, linking my body and physical well-being to the doll. Then they cut the doll's throat. Since it's a voodoo doll, my throat also gets cut, killing me instantly. The murderer tries to dispose of the doll by throwing it into the fire, perhaps leaving behind a clue for the detectives. Anyhow, this kind of murder would be difficult to solve and excellent for a story, I think. After all, for a detective just coming across the body, it looked like an impossible murder. No murder weapon, just a massive gash through the throat, no fingerprints, footprints, or eyewitnesses. Like a variation on the locked box mystery. As for the location, I'd really like to get killed in the library, since before I die, I'd get to read all kinds of nasty magic secrets, like about the Horcruxes and dragon breeding. And look at that screaming book Harry picked up. It'd just be a really awesome place to die. Of course, I wouldn't get to enjoy myself for too long, seeing as how I would die soon after. Heh. Okay, so what you're telling me is that it basically uses the twist from Metal Gear Acid. Clever. Our final winner is Septicor, who says, I can see myself alone in a dark room, with lightning thundering from the outside, with a piece of paper with a written Steam code for a free copy of Why Am I Dead at Sea. But as the murderer starts stabbing me relentlessly, I use my last moments to sneakily place the last 4 digits of the code on a ripped piece of paper inside his or her pocket. This way, anyone who is investigating my death will find a part of the Steam code and wonder where the rest of it is, which only makes them want to play the game more. Then, the person will find the last 4 digits of the murder, deduce that he is the culprit, and make the arrest. Not only does someone solve the murder mystery, but they win a free copy of a kick-ass game. It's a win-win for everyone. Well, I hate to be the one that begins the cycle, which ultimately results in your death, but you're the winner. Stay safe. Okay, gang, that's all I have for you today. Thank you, everybody, for taking part in our contest. I really enjoyed reading your entries. We'll be back next week with a huge blowout contest for Brawl on the PlayStation 4, followed closely by a Horizon Shift contest you won't want to miss. Speaking of Horizon Shift, I am currently hard at work on my review, which you can expect to see in the coming days. This is just the first of many reviews hitting the site, along with the return of the Black Sheep, and a very weird interview reenactment with Shigeru Miyamoto. All that is hitting the channel this week, so make sure and hit the subscribe button and check out some of our past videos.